Briscoe Cain is a Republican member of the Texas House of Representatives and joins me now. Briscoe, good to have you with us. I know, interestingly, that you helped fight a legal battle on behalf of a hairdresser who was jailed after remaining open despite lockdown. Why do you think it's right that Texas reopens now ahead of its originally planned time?
Well, one is, of course, we're adjusting based on the models, and those things have changed, and so we should change as well. But I believe that Texas should continue to lead, just as we've led our nation in having the highest GDP. In fact, right before the economic downturn we've affected, Texas alone would be considered having the sixth largest GDP if we were a country in the world. And so it needs to open sooner than later. There are people that need to continue to pay their mortgages and pay their bills, and employees that need to do it and not be dependent upon stimulus money coming out of the federal government. So it needs to be open.
Can I ask you about the leaked audio of Texas Governor Greg Abbott? He saying the overwhelming scientific evidence is that reopening will increase the spread of coronavirus. Does that not bother you?
My concern is more with anytime people are going to be more out in the open than they are risking those things. And I think especially with places like salons, they're already very heavily regulated. They have to comply with a lot of sanitation things and the way they're trained. So I believe they're very capable of opening. And people are also can make their own decisions whether or not they want to go out and go to these businesses.
The governor's deputy, Dan Patrick, said older Americans should accept the risk of dying to allow business to continue because, and I quote, there are more important things than living. That seems quite a drastic statement. Is that an acceptable view, do you think?
So Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick would not be considered, a deputy of the governor. He's kind of his own man. We have a bifurcated system of our executive here in Texas. But I've heard a lot of my constituents actually echo that concern and agreeing with the lieutenant governor. I'm concerned right now with the increased rates of suicides. In fact, we've had one county that due to these closures have had more suicides from people losing their jobs and losing their rights and losing their homes out of fear of this shutdown than it has had of corona deaths.
But Briscoe, it is a balancing act, isn't it? Are you confident that you're going to get the balance right, that businesses will reopen in order to help the economy, but that health concerns will also be taken into account? Because public health officials in America are saying that there is a massive risk if states reopen too soon.
I understand their risk, but we are a nation of constitutions, and the Texas Constitution exists independent of the federal Constitution, and the laws have to comply with those, regardless of what many maybe unelected or bureaucratic doctors are saying. If you were to ask a doctor if you should do something that would be unhealthy for you, they tell you no. That is in their nature. In fact, oftentimes their advice may be at risk of fearing maybe litigation or malpractice. My concern really is with what the Constitution allows us to do and how far it allows us to go in shutting down people's businesses and invading their lives. My concern was with that. And so I believe that we are restrained in our actions. That the government cannot just do anything it desires, and whether or not it's in the benefit of the public health or not, our concern should be that the constitutional rights of the people must come first. And we can't just close businesses anytime we want.
Briscoe, thank you very much indeed for joining us. That's Briscoe Cain, Republican member of the Texas House of Representatives there.